I'm going to show 3 examples of factoring trinomials where the leading coefficient is not equal to 1. So the standard form for a polynomial, a trinomial, ax squared plus bx plus c. If this first coefficient, the coefficient of x squared, is not equal to 1, these are a little bit more complicated, and we can't just look for the two numbers that multiply to the last and add to the middle. So it wouldn't work like our previous method. All right, so this method where we multiply to the last, add to the middle, that only works if the coefficient of x squared is 1. All right, so let me just show you some examples where that leading coefficient is not 1. All right, in this example, I'm going to show 2x squared plus 9x plus 10 and how to factor that. And the idea with factoring is we're trying to figure out what binomials would multiply together to give me 2x squared plus 9x plus 10. So we're going backwards of foiling. Okay, if we take 2x times x, that gives me 2x squared. So we're good to go there. Now to get the 10, I could either take 2 times 5, negative 2 times negative 5, 1 times 10, or negative 1 times negative 10. That would give me positive 10 there. I'm just going to go ahead and list that I have 2 times 1. This is really a 1x, even though we don't write that. Okay, now generally speaking, it's usually not 1 in the number. So I'm going to start with checking 2 times 5. And notice if I take 2 times 2, I would get 4. 1 times 5, I get 5, and those do add up to 9. So that's going to be my combination. Here, what I'm looking for is a combination of products that add up to 9. So now, these numbers, you notice how they're in the front. That's like a 1x, okay? Now, these are going to be in the back of the parentheses, and I just need to figure out who goes where. So this 2 needs to multiply by a 2. Well, when I FOIL, I would get 2x times x. We already figured that out. That's 2x squared. The only other number that 2 distributes, the 2x distributes towards, is in the back of the parentheses. Okay, so since I want this 2 to multiply by a 2, that positive 2 needs to go in the back. All right, and then that leaves me with the 1 here getting multiplied by the 5. Well, here's my 1, and I need that to get multiplied by a positive 5. Okay, so then that's what I'm thinking the answer is, and then you can always check by foiling. And even if you just do this mentally, it really is a good idea just to double check. So 2x times 2 is 4x. 5 times 1x is 5x. And 5 times 2 is 10. And those middle terms add up to what we were looking for, that 9x. So my correct answer here is 2x plus 5 times x plus 2. All right, 3x squared minus 5x minus 12. So again, the whole idea, oopsie, I want to be in. Let's look at another example. Here's another example, 3x squared minus 5x minus 12. Okay, so let's look here. To get 3, I would multiply 3 times 1. To get 12, either I could do 3 times 4, and notice this is negative, so I would need either a positive 3 and a negative 4, or maybe the other direction. We'll figure out those negatives in a minute. Okay, we could also get 2 times 6 and 1 times 12. All right, and just a note, usually it's not, I said that before, usually it's not 1 times 12. I'm going to go for the factors that are the closest together. 3 and 4 are closer than 2 times 6. That's a lot of times what it ends up being. Okay, so now I'm looking for my 2 binomials. And if I take 3 times 3, I would get 9. 1 times 4, I would get 4. Okay, one of these signs needs to be negative. Because we have a negative 5, I want the bigger one to be negative. And then when I add those, I would get negative 5. So let's see who needs to be negative. I'm going to make my 3 negative and my 4 positive. Now, process is these numbers go in the front of the parentheses. It's 3x times 1x. I'm just going to write that as an x. And these are the numbers that go in the back of the parentheses. Okay, remember the only number that 3x got to distribute to is the x. And then it also gets to distribute to the number back here in the back of the parentheses. So since I want 3 times negative 3, I better put my negative 3 in the back there, ready to be distributed by that 3. Okay, and now I need 1 times a positive 4, and so I place my positive 4 so it gets to get multiplied by that 1x. And then, just even double checking mentally, we can just double check by foiling. So 3x times x would be 3x squared. 3x times a negative 3 would be negative 9x. Positive 4 times x is a positive 4x, and 4 times negative 3 is negative 12. And really, I'm double checking that those two middle terms combine to give me negative 5. So my correct answer here is the binomial 3x plus 4 times x minus 3. Okay, now it's not always going to be straight across. I've just sort of lucked out with those two. So let me show you another one. Okay, on this last example, we've got 4x squared minus 5x minus 6. So let's go ahead and start on this one. Oh, notice with my 4, I could have 1 times 4, or maybe it's 2 times 2. So there's a couple factors for the first coefficient, and there's also a couple factors for the second coefficient. So we'll try some things here. Okay, so I'm looking at a negative here, so that means that either I have a negative 1 times a positive 6 would give me a negative, or vice versa. So, of course, I'm looking for the product of binomials. So let's see, maybe 1 times 1 is, and 4 times 6 would be 24. One of these is positive, one's negative. Because we've got negative 5 at the end, once we find the difference of these products, we'll make the bigger one negative because we want some negatives left over. But that's just not gonna, that one is not gonna work. That'd be 23. Okay, so that doesn't work. And generally speaking, it's not the 1 and the number. Unless it's a 4, then for some reason that is equally as likely to be 1 times 4 as 2 times 2. So that's just kind of a little hint. That I've done these for many years and I've noticed that. So even if I went with 4 times 1 and 1 times 6, that's still not going to, and wanted to make the bigger one negative to get some negatives left over, that's still not going to work. So that one is not. It's not 1 times 6 with 1 times 4. All right, no problem. We'll go on to the next one. Yeah, sometimes it takes some guess and check, but that's okay. We'll just keep chugging along. So let's try 1 times 2 is 2, and 4 times 3 is 12. We want some negatives left over, so we'll make the bigger one negative, but that would give me negative 10, so that's not the right one. It's always useful to figure out which ones don't work. We're narrowing it down. Okay, so I tried 1 times 2, now I'm going to try 1 times 3. And 4 times 2 is 8. Make the bigger one negative, so we've got some negatives left over, and that, we got it. That's what we want. And we want to have a negative 8, so I need 4 times negative 2. That needs to be negative 2, and then we need a positive 3. So 1 times this needs to be positive 3. All right, so process here. Now I finally found my pairs. These numbers go in the front, so I've got 1x, or just x, times 4x. That would give me my 4x squared. And now these are the numbers that go in the back of the parentheses, back here in the back. Okay, and now I just need to place them so that I have 1. Let's see, I needed 1 times positive 3, right? So I put my positive 3 in place so that it can get multiplied by this 1x. And now I need the 4 to get multiplied by a negative 2. So put that negative 2 in position. And now I'm just going to go through and double check. I'm pretty sure that's right with all of my thought that went into my guess, but let's just check. So we've got x times 4x. That better be 4x squared, or I didn't factor these right. Okay, and then x times 3 would be positive 3x. Negative 2 times 4x would be negative 8x. Negative 2 times 3 is negative 6. And all that hard work and thought that went in here paid off, because I got the negative 5, which is what I was looking for. Okay, so yes, it's guess and check, but we're doing a lot of thought right in this process to help us make a very, very educated guess. So this is my final answer. Done and done.